So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is yours. You belong. This belongs to you. You own this. This is your professional and animal lover show. And I am your nonprofit sector connector. Woo, man. Let's go. Whoop it up. All right, listen, this is PALS. And this all came out of an idea. This program, if you are new to this show, I'd like to say welcome. If you are old to this show, I would like to say welcome. If you never heard of us, you just heard of us, you want to hear about us, welcome. We're saying welcome. I think it's important to welcome people into your world and welcome people into the space. And right now I am welcoming you to the top of my house, above the second floor, below the roof. We are in my attic, all the way from Long Island, New York, to South Carolina, through Florida, to Ireland, to Queens. We are worldwide. Hold on, here's the train. Worldwide, baby. The Long Island Railroad. Gosh, I hear you. I know you're there, Mr. and Mrs. Train Conductor. There it is. Right on time. That's the 2:01 Eastern Time. We are on the PALShow, the professionals and animal lovers show. Each week we bring to you people connected to animal advocacy, animal lovers. They might be people who, they're definitely going to be people. They're definitely going to be human beings for the most part, although we do have some four-legged friends that show up. I don't think we've had any reptiles, but we might have one soon. I mean, Val, don't you have one of those Komodo dragons or alligators or something? What do you have? Like what is it again?
So close. You're so close. Very close to an alligator. It's a bearded dragon.
Right on.
He's about 12 inches long, and his name is Elliot. Yes, I have a reptile. It's adorable. I should bring him on, but the thing
Actually, can you get him
done? I'm in the cat room today, which is like a 2-bedroom apartment with its own bathroom.
The cat room is?
The cat room, yeah.
Oh my God.
The dragon is kind of like something they might be very interested in. You know what I mean?
As food?
Yeah, to play with.
Yeah, which they might be playing, but it wouldn't be them.
Yeah, you might not think it's funny, especially because he does come from like alligator type roots. I mean, I guess it. Or don't the three of us come from reptiles at one way shape? All right, Tommy D, this is not biology. Don't we though, John? Like we came out of the water.
We do, yeah.
Like kind of like the swamp thing, like sneaked out of the water and then
evolution.
And then grew hands and stuff like that. Val, you look very confused. What happened?
There's different theories, but that's okay. Anyway, my point is that ultimately this poor little dragon is probably safer where he is, although he'll come out and we can walk around him on our shoulders. He's so docile. I highly recommend them as pets, especially to people who have allergies, because they just like hang out on their hammock. They sell these little bearded dragon hammocks and you put them in an aquarium and they're just literally like all day until
I want one actually. I gotta talk to the powers that be downstairs.
So easy. So they only go to the bathroom like once a week. It's they were like a very
I don't want to be gross, but maybe what's his name? Elliot?
Huh?
Elliot. Maybe Elliot needs a little more fiber in his diet. It's all I'm saying, only because you said he only goes to the bathroom once a week. This is
no, it's like all I eat is roughage, but
roughage,
some protein sometimes too. But the bottom line
when he gets spoiled. Yeah.
No, but all of it, like turtles, same thing. Turtles go to the bathroom like once a week. It's no big deal. But anyway, I'm a fan of the bearded dragon.
I forgot that my brother and I, when we were kids, we had snapping turtles. You ever had?
God, really?
You know what they are?
Yeah, they'll hurt you.
Well, they didn't, but you put it's crazy. I hadn't thought of this in years. I'll tell you, one time we had them in like an extra bedroom because they had a massive tank that my father's always been into fish tanks. He's got koi pond in the backyard, the whole thing. We should probably, in fact, my mom said she would like us to do an on location PALS from the backyard at the koi pond. So Val, we'll have to talk about how that works. I mean,
I love that.
The whole PALS team and C, which means Valerie and me. A big meeting about it. Well, I remember the day, and this is how we start a show in the middle of a conversation, guys. Sorry, you guys keep coming back, so we must be doing something right. So here's what happened. I remember the day like it was yesterday. It wasn't yesterday. It was like 30 years ago, but I remember it, and I was very sad because we had to give away the snapping turtles. Now, snapping turtles, you would put in. Now, this is totally a bit a bit of a speciesist because we would put goldfish in there, and the goldfish would get eaten by the snapping turtle, and they literally would snap the little baby goldfish in half and then eat them. So it's kind of gruesome, but like survival of the fittest. This is how like life works, right, John? I mean,
nature.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
nature. Yeah, it is nature. Yeah, yeah.
I didn't make it up, man. I was just being.
No.
No, of course, yeah.
So
Well,
this.
I was just saying, like the other week, I think I was talking to John, and I was saying like the hardest thing for me is so if Barry travels without me, which is usually it's to go to New York to visit his family, like we were flip-flopping because it's hard to find a pet sitter for like the small zoo that we have. And anyway, so if he was away like once a week, Elliot, that's the name of our dragon, he gets like live worms, whatever, and they're just like, they're mealworms, but it's so hard for me to feed a live anything to a live anything else. I feel like a murderer. I have like
Why don't you, when you go in there, can you take one of the worms that might have already died and feed them one of those worms? And
no, they're not interested in that. It's
you don't want nature. They'd be
kill.
rancid. You want fresh kill, yeah.
No, they want the fresh kill.
I thought it would have been like fair. Like it would have been like, okay, kind of meet them halfway. Like I know you want something.
I like the thought, but they're not like us. They're not interested in stuff that's already been processed.
Yeah.
I'm a problem solver. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to solve.
It would have been awesome. Dehydrated shrimp, something like that. But no, it doesn't work.
Nothing. No, you just won't eat it. Just keeps it green. Just wants green or live worms. Yeah. Wow.
We should probably introduce you, John. Now that we've
I didn't even know.
Absolutely. Yeah. Why not? Yeah.
I want to introduce you. I want to finish the story about the turtle. So I'm very torn with what to do here. So what do I do? Long story short, John, we're going to introduce you. I have a whole background I want to read. Shout out to everybody on the Emerald Isle, by the way, because I know they're checking in. What time of day is it?
Watching.
What time is it in Dublin right now?
It's just after 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
So the kids are still up. They probably just got their teeth washed and
I
everything
wore my
right before
green.
bed.
I wore my green.
Yeah, I seen that. I seen it,
It's
Valerie.
olive green, but it's green.
It's green.
Look, it's green. It compliments you. It's lovely. It's lovely. Very
So
nice.
I'm going to read some background on John. John, show us your shirt, by the way. It's t-shirt comparison. The Dog Father.
The dog father. The dog father.
Oh.
I love it.
Is that wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Joe Gatto, our friend, whether he likes it or not.
Gatto, our friend. I love how he just became our friend. You've never met him.
Friend, whether he knows it or not.
Right.
His book is called The Dog Father. Is that a Joe Gatto t-shirt or?
No, but no, I tell you, it was a gift from my brother, my eldest brother back in Ireland, and he sent it over when we got Bronson. So he was like, and I, dog obsessed. So he was like, it's only fitting to get him a
Adorable. I love it.
Dog father t-shirt. So
I'll send a shout out to another celebrity who we'll just say is our friend too. Snoop Doggy Dogg. So Snoop, if you and Joe Gatto are listening right now, maybe you're listening together, but that was an album in like it was Snoop Dogg's first album. It was called The Dog Father. You knew that, Val?
Dog father, nice,
right.
Yeah.
I did know that.
Great album if you're into West Coast gangster rap. And it was a good album.
We should have him on the show with our other good friend, Martha Stewart.
Martha, did you?
We have a great Christmas party, great holiday party. Yeah.
We have some really great friends that they didn't know about.
They will soon, though. They will soon.
More like stalking them on the Instagram as I do. So I'm gonna read a little bit of background. This is for our friend John. I combine my passion for art and my love of animals by creating portraits of pets and donating a percentage of commissions to animal rescues. Right on. That's so first time we ever met. I might have said it last week when you were on our holiday party, PAWTY, which was cute, Val. I knew you did it, but I never even called you out and said that was cute. So that was fun when we called it that. But John and I met at what'd you do? Your mustache? Like this is
dimple smile. I don't have dimples.
Dingle and dimples. There it is.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're winning.
So John and I met I sit on the board of Horseability out here, Long Island, campus of SUNY Old Westbury. Our friend Annie Broderick invited John to be one of the vendors at a recent event. It was a fall festival at Horseability. So I go up and John had stepped away from the table, but on the table were a bunch of his drawings and his artwork and paintings. And I struck up a conversation with Katie, John's fiance.
Soon to be wife, yeah.
Soon to be wife, right on.
Yay.
So we met, and I was like, and I think I might have shared this last week, but I was like, so wait a minute, what's the deal? Like, so these dogs have a dog? And I was like, super like Columbo. I was like, one more, excuse me, miss, one more question. And I was like, super like Columbo, much longer hair than Columbo had. But I think I was wearing the same overcoat, in fact, that he wore in that.
Yeah, you looked the part, Tommy. You looked the part.
I took out my little pad, my notepad, and I was like,
so the eye.
Right, I was like, yeah, squinted the eye. I was like, so how'd you get this? And like a 60-cent cigar in my mouth, kind of thing, like. And I was like, how'd you get this dog? And Katie said, we got the dog from a rescue. And I said, my people. And I came in, we all hugged, and it's COVID. We didn't really hug. We did hug, but don't tell anybody. So it was like that. But as I said on this particular program in the past, without the tutelage and the mentorship from my pal, Val, I love when I say my pal, Val, but without that, I wouldn't have known to ask. I would have just been like, maybe 6 months ago, I might have said, oh, did you get him at a pet store? And that kind of stuff. In fact, I caught myself the other day, ran into a friend who had a dog. And you know what the first question I ask is, where'd you get the dog? And what it's funny, like, you've trained me now, Val,
But you know what? I'm so glad you're bringing this up, because I do want to mention this briefly. And honestly, this is a whole other show topic we could cover. And John and I touched on this earlier today too. 100% we are pro adoption and rescue. And that's always the first choice. And I want to be clear that there are people who gravitate towards a certain breed or a certain, type of dog for whatever their characteristics it may, be, like whether it's the German Shepherd for their smarts and their protectiveness of a home, or whether it's a dog that doesn't shed or whatever. I want to be 100% clear. If you look on Pet Finder, which is the most prevalent, nationally known way to find a rescue dog, and you strike out because you're looking for something very specific, the next alternative that's also very good, you just have to have a little bit of patience, there are breed specific rescues for every kind of dog breed you can imagine. Okay.
So hold on, let me understand. So they only get, let's say it's I don't know, Chihuahuas. I don't know why Chihuahuas, but let's say Chihuahuas. Like, they rescue specifically Chihuahuas. So you walk into the joint and the whole thing is like, and all these
pretty much, right? Yes. So if that's your thing, if you like the high pitched yelping, little dogs, that there's on Long Island, a very well-known reputable rescue is Yorkie 911. Like I said, I don't want to delve too far. This is a whole other topic unto itself. But the last choice, if you strike out with that also, is that there are reputable breeders, but you just have to know what you're looking for, and you have to know the red flags. You should ask questions, and you know how to eliminate people, because every breeder will claim that they're reputable. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one's going to say, no, I'm a terrible breeder. I treat the animals like garbage. I'm in it for the money. I don't care about the dogs. No one's going to tell you that. But there are ways. And by the way, if anyone wants help, I have great information on this. I have PDFs from like the Humane Society and ways to identify. But like, that's the priority order: adopt, don't shop, rescue, breed specific rescues, followed by, last but not least, reputable, responsible breeders. That
sounds like a great thing that you should put in our upcoming newsletter. Okay.
Thank you.
For PAL.
That's a good
great topic, great share, where we can talk about a great share. I have an awesome photograph, actually a drawing, that I'm going to show. And I'll just say this: LGM, for those who you don't know, that is, wait till you share. So look, John Dingley's on the show. I have a bunch to read about him. Let me say this. My mother painted, this is from John. I've always been fond of art. I was brought up in a creative environment inspired by my parents. My mother painted colorful landscapes, and my father always took beautiful photographs. The walls of our home in Dublin are filled with those beautiful paintings and stunning photographs. Life however, took a different turn for me. Instead of going to college for art, I found myself in the hospitality industry. Now, I resemble that statement. I spent a lot of time behind the stick myself. And for those of you who don't know, John and I are bartenders or were.
And Val.
I'm Val. Yeah.
No, that's right. That's right. We've all been behind the stick. So for all of you who don't know, a bar is often made out of wood, like a big old stick. So he's thrown into New York City's fast-paced environment. I'm a bartender in Manhattan. I never did that. I was a suburbs bartender.
Is that what it is? I thought it was the tap pull behind the stick.
I think it's what I said,
Really?
but I'm not sure.
No, well, I tell you, what a bar is the bar that it comes from the Western, like, you know, where you put your feet on. Yeah, that's the bar where you actually put your foot on.
Yeah, well,
So,
when you were like a 49er out there, you know, when you needed to go in. It was like when the guy would, like in those movies, when a guy would just like throw the bottle down there, and it would just kind of like, back in the day when I was tending bar, there were some guys that used to come in, and at the time there was something called Black House, which was popular, which is basically drinking like blackberry syrup. Yeah, John.
I know it. Yeah, God, it's like it was a liquor, like a
blackberry liqueur, right?
Yeah, God, yeah, I know.
Rumplemints. I don't even know if they pour these anymore. I'm 11 years since I had to drink.
Goldschlager.
Oh God.
We do have
why?
From what we're talking about, because I got sick off most of those things back in the day.
Yeah.
We will come back and we're going to talk about sticky, high content booze, or maybe we won't, but I'll finish reading John's background and how he got to this point where he and I met, and now we're on this show. But I'm going to leave you guys with some of John's work when we go to break. We'll be right back. This is PALS, Professionals and Animal Lovers Show. Right back.
Are you a business owner? Do you want to be a business owner? Do you work with business owners? Hi, I'm Stephen Fry, your small and medium-sized business or SMB guy, and I'm the host of the new show, Always Friday. While I love to have fun on my show, we take those Friday feelings of freedom and clarity to discuss popular topics on the minds of SMBs today. Please join me and my various special guests on Friday at 11 a.m. on talkradio.nyc.
Are you a conscious co-creator? Are you on a quest to raise your vibration and your consciousness? I'm Sam Leibowitz, your conscious consultant. And on my show, The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, we will touch upon all these topics and more. Listen live at our new time on Thursdays at 12 noon Eastern Time. That's The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, Thursdays, 12 noon on talkradio.nyc.
Are you on edge? Hey, we live in challenging, edgy times, so let's lean in. I'm Sandra Bargeman, the host of The Edge of Every Day, which airs each Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on talkradio.nyc. Tune in live with me and my friends and colleagues as we share stories and perspectives about pushing boundaries and exploring our rough edges. That's The Edge of Every Day on Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on talkradio.nyc.
You're listening to Talk Radio NYC. Uplift, educate, empower.
Well played, Val. I'll have to go get my young
Good. I like that, Val. Nice.
I pulled a Tommy DeMisa and did
smooth. Very smooth, man. You sneaked away and got a Mets jersey. Let's go Mets. All right. Let's get into this. First of all, I love how a guy comes over from Dublin and becomes a Met fan, or maybe Katie's a Met fan. You have to tell us about that. Let me just finish. The man comes over, he gets his gig, he's tending bar, and then this little thing called pandemic. We haven't called it coronavirus in a while, so coronavirus comes around. Remember, I remember it's got to call it COVID. So I'll go back coronavirus. And, the world changed. And, having grown up in the restaurant business, the bar business, I'm aware of a lot of friends who ran across tough times, and a lot of those friends who ran across tough times during the pandemic in the biz were really focused on helping out too. A lot of these organizations, shout out to my friends at Bourbon Street, Mark Boscia, his son, who, Food for the Fearless. They were actually on early episodes of my other show, Philanthropy and Focus, before we were even here on the network. And, there's so many people that gave back, but if those who worked in the industry who counted on that revenue, that was their livelihood. John, you were one of those people. So tell us that story. What happens? I mean, you're in the bar business, you're in the big city.
Yeah.
What happens next?
Well, I suppose it's it all came on pretty heavy. It all, like with everybody, it's just everything became like upturned, and then I the uncertainty you're between watching everything that's going on over here, watching everything then that's going on back in Ireland. Obviously they didn't have to, like it was, I was more anxious and conscious about what's going on back home because of my parents and everything, and my head wasn't in a good place. I wasn't dealing with it. I couldn't. We were just about to get married. We were planning to get married. That was axed. So like there was you're trying to deal with venues and places, and we were getting married back in Ireland.
You had a wedding planned. You and Katie, you were going back to Ireland. When was that supposed to be?
Well, we were going back and meeting with wedding organizers and meeting with venues, and so ideally we were hoping to have it. Kind of everything's a jumble now when it comes to the dates and years, but ideally it was meant to be last September, and it all gone to plan. It would have been last September, but then we were actually, funny enough, we were meant to fly home on March 15th, I think it was.
Right. So New York City kind of shut down March 13th. You're listening
that's what it was.
That was the day. Yeah. It was Friday. It was sort of like when it ended. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was like everything was up in the air, but it was at the time we weren't even thinking about the wedding. So it was like it was just going, okay, well this is a curveball. This is serious now, So I wasn't even thinking about in regards to work and all, because who was thinking it was going to last as long as it has been, Yeah, so it was you're thinking, oh, it's going to be a couple of weeks. Then we started getting deposits back, and we started getting emails from venues back home that we'd been in contact with, saying, look, we might not be able to honor, having a party or a package, that we promised you. So then it was sort of really become reality. And then my guilt as well. I was so fixated on watching the news. I was watching everything that over here and back home.
You remember John, like Cuomo was a freaking celebrity early on, man. Like I remember that, like early on, like I was addicted to that. Like there was like
insane,
right?
Yeah, you were watching every single press conference, and like it was just like you said, it was celebrities. So like, and you start feeling, okay, we're gonna get out of this, and New York's strong and everything's good, and it was, and it is, it's great. But then you start realizing that, sort of what your prospects, and you start, for me anyway, start going down, just not being the right frame of mind. And I didn't know what I was going to be doing. I had no idea. All I'd ever done in New York was bartend. And even before New York, that's all I did back in Ireland. So it's bartending. So then I thankfully Katie's the reasonable and sensible one in her relationship, and she's a creative flair herself. So she was like, would you consider maybe doing some productive in regards to art, or maybe get back drawing and start sketching. So I was like, yeah, sure, we'll see what happens, if it distracts me.
That's so great. I'm so glad that she is not just your support system like she should be, but that she also has that creative mindset to kind of feed yours, and
Valerie, like if it wasn't for her, because I had no plans on picking up like a brush or a paint or a pencil or anything. So like it hadn't even crossed my mind. I was just so fixated on everything that was going on, that everything that was just being pumped towards me, and
it's consuming. It can consume you.
Yeah, and even the monotony of sitting there and watching Netflix and watching a binge on a show, and it was okay for the first couple of weeks, whatever. But
Tiger King,
yeah, and I'm guilty of it. I binged it, and I watched the second season.
I didn't fall for that one, man. I there was something weird.
I fell for a little.
No, there was something. I never even put on an episode. In fact, I was getting an egg sandwich the other day. And this is one part of the world, Val. You miss Long Island because, and John, tell me about being in other parts of the world. But a bacon, egg, and cheese is like that is our thing. That is New York. I don't even know if it makes it up. Like to Western New York. Like that is like
BECSPK.
Yeah, no doubt. Bacon, egg, and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup. No doubt. I want to put it on a roll. But see, I sometimes go for Swiss cheese, which is like that.
Yes. The Swiss cheese, yeah. So my soon to be mother-in-law, she introduced me to a bacon, egg, and cheese with Swiss cheese. Game changer.
Now, like, if we're split hairs about Swiss cheese, I dig like regular Swiss cheese, but that Alpine lace, I dig that lacy Swiss cheese. I dig it. I'm just gonna say it. I'm putting it out there.
Throw it out there.
I'm kind of a Gruyere girl myself, but
yes, I do like me some Gruyere. But
that's I think French, but whatever. But I want to tell you, John, and then we're definitely gonna jump back in. But you and I have something very much in common, in the sense of when you hit that point during COVID, like everybody thought it was 2 weeks, just everybody stay home, and it's not 2 weeks, and that was weird. But as we got more and more into it, because we had to shut down a company we had just started, revolved around like in-person get-togethers, so that wasn't going to fly. I too turned to the animals for kind of like a healthy way, just to do something and also make some money. But it wasn't. It's not a highly lucrative thing. But I did pet sitting. What can I do that is not going to require me to have to like go into large gatherings? There weren't any anyway. Right. And, but enjoy myself at the same time. And it was a great run. Like I met I had the best clients in the world, everything from like a Great Dane to like, someone who just had a couple of cats or whatever.
Yeah.
But the need was there. People were trying to work and they couldn't take care of their pets. People were, sick, or they wanted to travel to see their families and they had a dog that needed to be cared for, whatever. And the point is that I find it interesting that we both kind of found our solutions.
In animals, seriously, it's like I know I dwell and I tell everybody, like I really like, I know, like, besides obviously Katie, because I adore her because she's my fiance and everything, but like Bronson's really my savior, and just in every set, and like just for every outlet of any animal, like just because I became so fixated on it during the pandemic, I started drawing them and I'd lose myself. It was therapy. It really was therapy for me. Like it was cleared my head, especially at the time I'd had COVID or whatever, and I had the long haul symptoms. So I had no smell, no taste for months.
Me too.
It was
2 months.
Horrible. Yeah, but
that was the worst part of it for me. That was horrible.
It was horrible.
John, this is why I'm sure you've heard of this very famous expression in the world of animal rescue and stuff. Who rescued who? Right?
Yeah, right.
You rescue the animal, your dog in this case example, from a shelter or a rescue, or we adopt them. They rescue, they bring out our best. And just one last thing, I know we have to go to break, but like as you guys know, I was sick for the past like week or whatever. There was a point in time I was sleeping a lot. You know who never leaves your side? Your dog.
Yeah, your baby, like he's just there. Yeah.
They're just hanging out with you the whole time. They sleep with you, they nap with you. They do everything. They will not leave your side.
Yeah. No. And they know it, they feel it off you, they sense it off you, they know your mood, and they're just like I go on, I tell everybody how grateful I am. I'm like, he is like, and again, if there's silver linings on the back of everything the last 2 years, it's been with him, or him finding me, and vice versa, so
It is, it feels tough to say, but I will say I know a lot of silver linings in this pandemic myself, and and it seems like a strange thing to say, but I guess that's what a silver lining is, right?
Yeah.
It's finding this opportunity in a tragic situation. But I would say the connection you guys are talking about with the animals. I want to, when we come back, I need you to tell me. I know there's animals have been in your life going back to to Ireland, and there's this I think you call it, and it's a picture I actually purchased for my son. That's the train, guys, in case anybody wants to go to New York City, stop by the attic, we'll throw you on a train real quick.
Yeah.
So there was a picture, the Dingle donkey, right?
Dingle donkey, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
let's tease him, John. Let's tease him with a Dingle donkey.
So pretty much it's just, so my dad takes these wonderful photographs. He as best he does, he always captures a perfect image, and one of them being the Dingle donkey. So
I want to show that picture. I gotta go find it, or maybe you can email it to me real quick.
Yeah. I'll be able to send it on to you.
Or even if you have a picture of it right there, we'll hold it up there when we come back. We're gonna go to a quick break. We'll talk about the Dingle donkey and and everybody. I hope your mom's doing well. And yes, good. We got a thumbs up.
She's watching tonight, so that's.
Hang on, Mom. How are you? It's Tommy Dingley.
Peggy. That's her name, Peggy.
Peggy.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you guys right back. This is the Professionals and Animal Lovers Show. Right back.
Franklin McElroy, host of the new podcast, Gateway to the Smokies. It airs on talkradio.nyc every Tuesday night from 6 p.m. to 7. Every episode is dedicated to memorable experiences in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park and surrounding areas. This show features experts and locals who expound upon the richness of culture, history, and adventure that awaits you in the Smokies. Tune in every Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 7 on talkradio.nyc.
Are you passionate about the conversation around racism? Hi, I'm Reverend Dr. TLC, host of the Dismantle Racism Show, which airs every Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern on talkradio.nyc. Join me and my amazing guests as we discuss ways to uncover, dismantle, and eradicate racism. That's Thursdays at 11 o'clock a.m. on talkradio.nyc.
Are you a small business trying to navigate the COVID-19 related employment laws? Hello, I'm Eric Sauver, employment law business law attorney and host of the new radio show, Employment Law Today. On my show, we'll have guests to discuss the common employment law challenges business owners are facing during these trying times. Tune in on Tuesday evenings from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time on talkradio.nyc.
You're listening to Talk Radio NYC at www.talkradio.nyc, now broadcasting 24 hours a day.
There is something about this show, man. Wardrobe changes all around. I thought I was going to be the cool one. I go get a Mets jersey, Johan Santana, and then I come back. Valerie's jersey is gone. I did not take her jersey. Hers is white. Mine is gray. And
I was sweating. I was like, I can't do this anymore.
John, it comes back. I thought he was getting the picture of the Dingle donkey, and he comes back with the Hawaiian shirt. Oh, there's the Dingle donkey. He's right on the wall.
Because they're all watching back home. All my nephews are watching back home, and they're all like, "Where's your Christmas shirt? You're not wearing a Christmas shirt."
They tell
me to wear a Christmas shirt. So
we should probably just start really quickly by saying that this is John Dingley.
Yes.
Yes.
His name is Dingley. We're just like John. So
take it away, pal. Do that.
What's a Dingle donkey?
So Dingle is it's an area in Kerry, County Kerry. So I'm sure, Tommy, when you were there, you would have been familiar of hearing about Kerry or whatever. But so we used to always go on vacation down there. We used to always go to all parts of Kerry. And my dad would always bring the camera, but right in the middle of the town, it's only a small town, a little town, but they had a working donkey. He'd been there for years or whatever. But I guess he's through the years he started getting older, and he wasn't needed to actually be working anymore on the farms or anything. But he was so known, he was so well known within the town that they used to just take him for a stroll up and down the main street. So it just happened by chance that my dad was down there at the time, and he saw the Dingle donkey just going about his day because he's retired now. So you just mosey. A mosey means literally go for a stroll up and. Did you ever hear the saying mosey?
Yeah. We used to be out in the Old West. You go mosey into town. Like if you wanted to, like I want a sarsaparilla, I'm gonna mosey into the bar.
You're gonna exactly. You're gonna mosey into. So same thing. He just go about his day and he'd stroll in or whatever. But so my dad just happened to be sitting outside a cafe at the time in the middle of Dingle, and he caught the donkey looking at him, giving him a smile, giving him the whole hee-haw. So my dad thought, grand, I'll take a photo of this. And then, like that, during the pandemic, or during COVID, I was like, you know what? I definitely want to try paint this guy. I'd love to try paint him.
You said that? You said that? Or your dad wanted to paint him?
No, I was thinking, I'd seen it. So my dad posted photographs on Flickr. Like it's a communal thing amongst other amateur artists or whatever. But and I always loved it. But the original image is of a dog sitting on the back of the donkey. Yeah, so he's a retired working dog. He used to be like a farm dog.
Hold on, I gotta understand. The original photograph that your dad took.
Yeah.
The dog is on the donkey's back?
Sitting on his back, right? So and I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna try find it by the next ad break, but I'll send it to you. The original photograph my dad took. So they're both retired now because they're both farm animals that
No, wait, retired. The dog is retired. The donkey is retired. Is your dad retired too?
Oh, my dad's retired. Yeah, he's retired. You better believe he is.
Not that I'm an artist or anything, because I clearly can't draw. I'm a different kind of an artist, but that's
abstract.
Like a tough draw. Like that, I feel like that's like a double whammy of difficulty. Like you have a dog and then you have a donkey. One's on top of the other. I feel like that's very difficult.
But yeah, Valerie, that's why I've been trying to avoid it for so long. So I'm doing them. I'm almost dissecting them. I'm drawing his face. Now I'm probably gonna pluck up the courage to draw the dog or paint the dog on his back. But it was such a nice image, such a nice photograph.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
I'm looking for the image to share with everybody that a friend of mine drew of a cat. And actually, I think we showed last week on the show. So here's the actual picture of the cat.
That's Fluffy.
Yeah. Fluffy. And here's the Puffy. And here's the drawing. I think that looks like Daniel Cat from that Daniel Tiger. The character from Mr. Rogers show. By the way, I do have to shout out my friend Finn. John just texted me a great picture. My buddy Finn watching us from Ireland. So shout out Finn.
He's my
it's not
my eldest nephew, but he's tuned in.
Right? Am I going to get him in trouble that he's awake this late in the day?
No, because the funny thing is, like you said last week, Tommy, in the background they're watching the football, they're watching the soccer, and then
he's watching a football game right there.
Yeah. So I thought I'd send it to you just for giggles. Yeah.
I think that's great. I noticed it right away. I didn't comment on it, but yeah, but my son is playing the fake football. Madden football, so NFL football, but he plays it on
on
Xbox. These guys, they love that, and I get smoked in that game. Like these kids, man, they beat me in this. Now I hear they got this whole, not that I hear like I'm an old man, but the whole VR thing is like the next thing. Like with like, I saw some. I don't even want to make fun of people because I try not to make fun of people, but I saw this one lady. They showed it on like TikTok, and she had the stuff on, like the glasses, and like she's kicking and stuff, and she like bumped into a wall and like fell over because you got to think like you don't know what's right, Val, right? Like you don't know what's actually around you.
I saw that too. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. But
you lose your sense of reality,
Yeah, John, I have to ask you some questions about. I'm going to do like a little rapid gunfire.
Let's go for it.
So regarding your painting, somebody wants a pet image from you. First of all, like, what sizes do you offer?
Yeah.
And like, what are their choices? Like, do they say, I really want an oil painting or I really want a watercolor? Like, how does it work in terms of their choices, the sizes that are available? And if you're so inclined, pricing. And or I'm sorry, I'm just going to throw all the questions at once.
Yeah.
What about like, are you doing just dogs or dogs and cats, or are you like, would you do my bearded dragon?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. No, so yeah, pretty much. All right. So so I got 4 sizes. I got 4 sizes at the minute that I'm offering. And I know I sent them to Tommy earlier. So I got like a small desk size, which is like it's like 8x6. So it's an 8x6. It's you can have it, just obviously by your desk or on a wall or whatever. It's nice. That's all hand drawn. They're usually with the if it's a detailed photograph, because it all relies on the photograph. Which is tricky as well, because a lot of people are getting their pets done in memoriam and they might only have old photographs. So, it depends through correspondence of what the photographs they might be able to offer. But so I'll do the 8x6. That's at the minute that's $70. So that's the smallest size I'm doing. And then I got to step up from that. That's the 8.5 by 11.
Okay.
And so that's like gotta be like one of these guys. Yeah, I like this guy. So if you notice what I do with a lot of my portraits, I'll take I'll make a print of them just because I've drawn them for hours and I like just keeping a print myself. So they're going for like these guys, these size are for like $200.
Just interrupt 1 second. So because some of this is just going to be audio, guys, they might not be picking up. So John, where can we give me some social media stuff? So if people are just listening to this, where to, you're pointing to things they might not catch what we're talking about. Where to go?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it's I like that. I am in the process of having a website built and what have you. But if I'm the only genre draws out there, I'm the only genre paints out there. So
spell that, please.
It's JOHNNERDORAWS. So if you type that in, I'm the only one there. It's a Dublin name. So like if you hear genre, it's gonna stand out. So hence I'm the only one. So
is that on Facebook? John, are you on Facebook with this too?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. So you'll see it's under you just type in, if you can pull it up on Facebook, you'll see my details. And you can just direct message me. Same with email. It's johnrdraws@gmail.com. That, I'm
putting this on the stream, guys. So if anybody's listening and want to contact John, that's how you'll see it right on the stream. I'm putting this as johnrdraws@gmail, right?
Yeah, at gmail.com. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, guys. Take it away.
No, so you're good. Yeah. So you can send me, direct message. I can send you my price listings. I know I sent them to Tommy earlier. So even if we don't get to share them tonight, I'm sure through PALs, you'll be able to reshare it or whatever. The way I do it, I give, at the minute, I'm giving 15% back to any charity of the person's choice.
Wow,
15%. It's
that's
15%.
Very generous.
And take into account, they're all hand drawn, they're all one of a kind portraits. My hope is in the new year to increase that. My aim is to maybe get to 25% and 25% based on whatever charity the said person might like it donated to. Or otherwise I'll make a donation, separately on their behalf. But that's my mission. I want to get up to 25%. I want to look. I don't plan to be making millions off it. I'm happy. I get enough satisfaction.
Don't say that. We want you. See, here's the thing.
Yeah. No.
The whole point of this show. Well, there's 2 points, but the main point. The reason this show started is because we want people in business who have an affinity for the animals, who are compassionate to the animals, to be successful.
Yeah.
No, they're going to help the animals and the world will be a better place. So we want you to make millions. We want millions and millions.
Here, look, if it happens, delighted. I'm fantastic. I'm so happy about it. But like I was saying to you earlier on the phone or during the week on the phone, just whatever. I'm very conscious of hardships that people are dealing with on the back of the pandemic. And if somebody wants to be able to, if somebody's in the situation of where say they've adopted a dog or a cat and they've given shelter to them, and I'd be happy that if there's an X amount of proceeds are going to that charity, and I'm still enough to have bread and butter on my plate, and Bronson, my dog, is fed, and Katie's happy, my fiance,
and Alpine lace cheese.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I have enough for my hot toddies or whatever. But because you got to take into account, I'm only starting out, so I'm trying to get my name out there. I want to kind of. My idea is I'd love to draw more attention to the whole adoption, having people being able to adopt dogs. Try defer them from buying from whatever. So.
I have an idea. I'm just gonna spit it out there. And you can say no, you don't have to say yes, but there are like classes that they teach you how, when I say you, I'm putting that, not me, like how to paint, although I'll always try. I'll give it to you.
Yeah, you're good, you don't need it. You're fine.
You did a great job.
Like,
stop. I hate people. Stop. Yeah, you've got talent.
You
That's
could do
good.
like a class, and let's say a percentage of those proceeds go to a charity, and you could say like, okay, either you pick the drawing, right, and you could say, we're going to draw this dog, we're going to draw my dog Bronson, right?
Yeah, Bronson. Yeah,
and you can teach people like a step-by-step tutorial. It can be in person, of course, but now I don't know if people are
I got it. We got to go to break, but I got it. You take your two passions, and you didn't say you were passionate about tending bar, but it is your background, right? So you know this that they do this like sip and I don't know what it is, paint and sip
and paint.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Irish coffees.
Irish coffees and paint.
Yeah, I used to start my shift. We used to drink Sambuca and coffee sometimes at 7.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I would never make it through.
I don't drink anymore.
We weren't allowed to drink. Bar owners that we had, we weren't allowed to drink until after the shift was over.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to my Uncle Joe. He'll tell you that I put him out of business. The place was called Halligan's in Floral Park for.
Oh my God, I used to go there all the time.
Stop.
I used to date a guy a long time.
All right, we got it. We're way over on and that's my store. That's where my wife and I met. That's our spot.
Best steak tidbit sandwich ever.
Oh, look at you. You're right. Steak tidbits.
I know.
Back on that. We got to go to a break before somebody throws me out of the attic like Sam Leibowitz on the other side. we need John, we got to have you come back again next week. We'll do 3 weeks in a row.
Why not? Let's do it. Yeah, we're on a hat trick.
We are on a hat
trick.
Yeah, let's do it.
But what about that? Like, how about, and then we'll go to break, but what about PALs sip and like drink and paint? Whole deal where like we get a spot, maybe we do it. Shout out to Bourbon Street, Mark Boscia. Maybe we go to in Bayside, right on Bell Boulevard. Thing there, we do. John teaches people how to draw. And then let's. All right, this is Professionals and Animal Lovers Show. I am super energetic. We need to go to a break. We'll be right back.
No breaks.
No breaks. Keep it going. Keep it going.
4 p.m. Eastern for the Mind Behind Leadership, where we focus on what leadership really means to us and to others. We have practical discussions with the CEOs of some of the world's largest companies, owners of small businesses, and experts in psychology and behavior to get that inside track, what to do, what to avoid, and what really happens. Join me, Graham Dobbin, at the new time, 4 p.m. every Tuesday for the Mind Behind Leadership, here live on talkradio.nyc. Hey everybody, it's Tommy D, the nonprofit sector connector, coming at you from my attic. Each week here on talkradio.nyc, I host a program, Philanthropy in Focus. Nonprofits impact us each and every day, and it's my focus to help them amplify their message and tell their story. Listen each week at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on talkradio.nyc. Calling all pet lovers.
Pet Avengers, assemble!
On the Professionals and Animal Lovers show, we believe the bond between animal lovers is incredibly strong. It mirrors that bond between pets and their owners. Through this program, we come together to learn, educate, and advocate.
Join us live every Wednesday at 2 p.m. at talkradio.nyc.
You're listening to Talk Radio NYC at www.talkradio.nyc. Now broadcasting 24 hours a day.
Welcome back to
I got it. I'm jumping in. I don't care.
Go.
It's the hot toddy. Rescue and Renaissance.
Rescue and Renaissance.
Why not? Yeah.
I
was could be good. Yeah.
Done. So you got to fly up here to Queens, New York, because
I'm coming.
John's already in Queens. I'm 6 miles away from Queens. You're not. So you got a little Rescue and Renaissance. It'll be the first ever PALS event in real life.
I have to do this. I was trying to think of some. Well, look, we're all bartenders. We can come up with stuff, right? It could be
there's definitely some
painting and pints.
Painting pints and pubs. Painting pints and pubs. Imagine that. Painting pints and pets.
Yeah. I love all those P's. I like all those.
All the P's, triple
that
P.
blew my mind. All right, you win. You're better at this too.
No, I'm not. I didn't even know we're on air. We're thrown out.
Hey, listen, if you're out there and you have ideas for the first ever in-person event, give us a name. Reach out.
Yeah.
I saw you almost like I watched you because I don't think everybody else can see you on the Facebook when we go and I share the pictures, but you almost melted. John, I don't know who this little fox dog is.
Oh my God, so cute.
A little fox terrier or something like that.
Oh, like one of the recent portraits.
What you said, I'm going to share it again for everybody, but talk us through who it is.
So he was done for so this little guy, and I was so nervous about him of doing him because it was an old photograph. You know, he passed away a couple of years ago, whatever, and the owner was getting it as a gift to. I think again that it was a family member. I'm not going to say what family member, but he's an Irish guy. He's from Cork, and he commissioned a portrait he wanted to take home to Ireland and gifted, for the holidays. So he asked me, was it possible? He's like, the best photo I have is this. Could I work off it? So I said, yeah, and I was funny enough. I was so intimidated by it, just because of his fur color against the couch itself. So I tried to render him as much as I could and try to capture his personality. And,
what did he think? I think it's beautiful. So what did the guy?
Is it a Pomeranian?
I think so. I think it is, or could be even a mix. Yeah. No, he was delighted, and that was that. So it's the same guy had ordered one of the goats. If you see, I know you shared one of the goats.
I'll bring the goats back up when you're talking.
So he was bringing it back as a gift back to Ireland, and he was delighted and thankful.
I would be hysterical crying if that happened. I mean, I had this dog growing up who was a rescue. I mean, not even through like a shelter or anything. My parents were driving, and someone tossed this dog out of the car in front of them while the cars were going.
Jeez, yeah.
But anyway, so they took him home, and that was my dog. Turns out he was a Norwegian elk hound, which most people have never heard of. But
never heard of, yeah.
Great dog, such a great dog.
Yeah.
Today, this is back in the day where there weren't, all this technology of cell phones and pictures all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't have a single picture of him because we had a fire a long time ago. So, but if I got a picture of my dog Kaiser, a painting, I would be in like happy hysterics. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I'm sure it blew them away. And it's a big gift. I want so many people to do this because I'm all about unique gifts and thoughtful gifts. And I just, if someone gives me anything, someone gives me a mug, I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much for thinking of me. But the reality is, this is mind-blowing, heart-endearing, melting stuff that you're doing. you know.
Yeah, But Valerie, that's the thing, and that's a beautiful, beautiful dog.
That was Kaiser. He was
Get out of here. Was he big? He looks like he was a big dog, was he?
He was like 40, 45 pounds, but at that in second grade, he was a giant.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Total.
Absolutely. No, but like I was saying to you earlier, even before we had to chat, like it's or before we went live, it's like that's my aim. You know, my aim is just to I've always had
people
dogs.
Cry.
But cry happiness. I've always had animals. I've always had pets. You know, and the group. Thankfully, my dad and my mom, they were very encouraging of looking after animals. Like, you know, whether you own them or not, and just that's how we grew up. You know, north side.
Good job, Peggy.
Yeah, Peggy and Richie. Give Richie a shout out.
Compassionate, I think, it's taught a lot of times, although
for sure
come naturally. But my dad was a big animal lover, and I feel like I learned a lot about compassion through him.
True, exactly, and that's the thing. So I was thinking, well, if I can, you know, and again, I don't even think, you know, the way I'm thinking about it is just I'd love the idea of somebody having something that they're gonna treasure for so long, and if it can bring awareness to any charity or any rescue as well at the same time by giving a portion of the proceeds back, well then I'm happy. I'm living. That's me content.
I need
a beautiful life.
I gotta ask you,
and I'm happy. That's all I want, you know. So,
John, one quick question: are you looking to get back into tending bar? Is that something we should look out for through people we know, or not necessarily?
To be honest, at the minute, no, because I'm loving what I'm doing. Like, and thankfully, I've a lot of people are animal lovers, and they've been commissioning me, and are, you know, they like, you know, doing what I'm doing. So
you're gonna wish after this show, you're gonna wish you had a second set of hands for all the stuff that you're gonna be.
Hopefully, yeah.
I think we're gonna.
I have one last question, and I'll make it really quick.
Sure.
Could you ever do murals, like in a kid's room, like a wall, or it's a business? Okay, that's good.
Well, why not? Why not? Because I'll be honest, I just on the back of everything before the pandemic, I didn't even think I could draw a stick figure. So I'm not going to say no to anything, you know. So.
Me too, but the difference is I was right. So
yeah, no. You were making great bread and cooking lovely dishes. So good. Oh, good.
You might have been right that you can't draw, Val, but maybe you work at it. You know, it doesn't. You might not be able to draw now. Plus, we think that
always try.
It's all subjective. All subjective.
Yeah. So I'm going to send you. You know what I'm going to do, John? We got to close the show in a sec here. But what I want to do is, John, I'm going to text you a picture of the picture Valerie drew, and then you could draw that and clean it up a little bit, and it'll be perfect.
I tell you, I won't.
No. Let's send him an actual picture of Puffy, of the actual animals, so that it looks like her.
All right. Well, I got to get a picture of the dog you had in second grade, the Norwegian L count. Although Barry, if you're listening, and I know you are because you just checked in on Facebook, I think you should think about, you know, just talk to John, figure it out, man. You know, it's holidays.
Like that. I'm sure Tommy and Valerie are going to share my emails and all my details.
So give us the social media. John or Draws. That's how everybody.
John or Draws. It's with an H and with a double N. So JOHNNERDRAWS.
Got it.
If you type that in, you're gonna find me. You're gonna find my old girl Sheba. She's the main girl on my profile. So.
Yay.
We gotta roll. We gotta get out of here. You know what? We're run out of time like we do every week, John. I appreciate your friendship, Val. Love your kid. This is so awesome. This is your vision, and we're living it. Here's what I leave you with: in his total commitment to nonviolence, Gandhi always included the animals by stating, "The greatness of a nation and its moral progress can be judged by the way its animals are treated." Make it a great day. See you guys later.
Amen.
Take care. Thank you again. Thank you.
Mwah.
Bye-bye.
Love you guys.
Love you guys. Cheers.